I think it begins with some fear.
You have folks that are born into a certain body, a certain gendered body.
Any person has a difference of what means to be a woman, what means to be a man.
People say, well, gender has got to be something that's assigned at birth. That's just got to be the way it is because that's just got to be the way it is.
They feel for whatever reason their gender identity does not match the sex that they were born in.
And I think the other people don't have the right to mess with that, with who you are.
This stole marks me as a priest. I kind of think of it as a liturgical sweatsuit. When I began my professional life as a pastor in the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod, one of the things I feared was ever being able to talk about my gender issues, which have been with me for a lifetime. When I came to the point where I could no longer stand up in front of people and talk about truth and honesty and integrity while I was living a lie, I came to the point where I said, I'm going to have to leave the ministry and I'm going to have to let people know what's really going on. March 7th, 1999, I walked out the door as a male clergy person, and that was the end of my male life. I'm looking at doing my sex reassignment surgery in Thailand, and one of the things that's driving that is the question of cost.
Almost every single health insurance plan in the country has transgender specific exclusions. Whether they're for, we don't cover gender identity, or we don't cover sexual reassignment surgery, or we don't cover hormones.
I am fortunate enough to have health care with my position. However, my insurance won't touch the surgery. It considers it to be elective surgery. So when I look at the actual dollars, I almost may as well not have health care insurance.
If an insurance company is saying that the health care you need is elective or cosmetic, then it gives this whole notion not only to healthcare providers and the healthcare industry, but to employees of a company that it's just not a real issue and it's elective.
I've never traveled outside of the United States, so I've got all those anxieties that a person has when they go to a country where they know nothing about the language, nothing about the culture, far away from what's familiar to me. Thailand is a long way to go for an office visit. So if there's something that needs to happen in terms of follow-up, I'm concerned about that. What's daily life going to be like afterwards? So all of that climbs up into one big, gigantic yarn, ball of yarn, and sometimes I find myself not sleeping as I think about it. But mostly it's excitement that I feel.
The reason they want to do it in Thailand, I think number one, the price is low. You must be 30% of the price in US. Number two, qualification of the surgeon. The surgeon must be highly qualified and been around.
the core of the Buddhist religion is to make people happy. And therefore, if a person wants to transform to another gender and it makes him happy, so be it.
All these factors, that's why make the sex reassignment in Thailand become more and more popular around the world. We have the dancing party every month. I invite you to sing "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina."
Do you know dance?
I dance the ballroom at the land.
Who am I? I'm a transsexual woman. Right now, I'm a woman. I'm a Mexican woman. I'm an opera singer. I started to sing when I was 4 years old. And when I was 18, my mother told me, well, it's fine, you sing beautiful. And then it was growing up, and I sing at the most famous theater at Mexico. I was happy, but I was incomplete. I was so afraid because I knew it was a complicated surgery. I wake up and I didn't feel any pain, anything.
I never believe in the medical tourism. I believe in the caring of the patient. They're happy. That's it. That's our achievement.
Deserve to be happy, and I think if the rest of the people who is not transgender hate us, they're not being happy neither. So what's the point? Take a break and let us be happy. So that's my hope.
The last year's actually been pretty eventful. In January, I got married. So I'm a 54-year-old newlywed. That feels wonderful.
Coffee, Howard?
Me, I'm fine. Thanks for asking. The cats do have emergencies. There's this bare spot in the food dish the size of a nickel.
Someone will call and say, this is an emergency. Sometimes the plumbing is backed up at the church. And so I always give them my expert theological advice. Call Southwest Plumbing.
The big question mark is my husband's job. If he gets a job the one that we're looking for, hoping for, praying for, it means that we get an income so that even if insurance doesn't pay for any of the pieces, our top priority would be to get me to Thailand and finance the surgery privately. So we're again about another probably 10 to 12 months from Thailand. So for me, it's worth fighting for a very personal reason. I want to be me, and I think I have a right to be me.
And also, if you just think about the statistics, the alarming rates of harassment, discrimination, violence and, you know, violence against other trans people, and then violence that trans people inflict upon themselves. That's nothing that anybody would go through if it was something that was just elective or they wanted to do it for cosmetic reasons.
The right to be me is essential if we're going to be talking about life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, all those things that we embed in our core values as people in America.
I would argue that the snowball effect has already started. The major car companies, like we have General Motors and Ford, who offer trans-inclusive benefits. And so it's just a matter of people wanting to be on the bandwagon, and I would hope it's a matter of people also wanting to do the right thing.
See, I have given you authority to tread on snakes and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy.
What's exciting is people that don't have to struggle through it, so that you don't look at what you want to do and say, oh my God, there's this mountain. The idea of saying, well, this is something tough that I need to do, but look, there's a path. Look, there is now not a system aligned against me, there's a system that's aligned to help me. Look, there are people that are there. I can see that it's been done before. For me, that's what's exciting, is seeing what in the past has been a cow path turn into a road.